Hello, my dear friends. My name is Helen Baginskaya. I am a psychologist, and today I present to your attention the second video from a series of videos called Associations that a victim has in a relationship with a psychopath. Having read and watched many books and videos about psychopaths and being able to escape from this nightmare, I just wanted to forget about them and go around them the 10th way. I remember the words from Jackson Mackenzie's book, Whole Again, that a person can get a degree in psychopathy before he goes on to heal himself. Now I would like to get into the healing of myself and direct all my forces here. But I talk with women, and they need someone showing the way to themselves, the way to recovery, the way to freedom. I'm still on the way myself, and there's not an end point in this path, the path to yourself. After all, God created us as a whole huge world, a whole space, cosmos, which will cognize forever, as well as its creator. For a long time, on the way to my inner life, a wild, bloodthirsty creature has been dwelling. He knows no sympathy, no love, no repentance, and all my attention was focused on him. When a person is in a relationship with a psychopath, she rarely manages to look inside herself, and when she looks inside, it makes her scared of what she has become, how she has changed, and how from a cheerful, joyful person she became hysterical, gloomy, angry, and snarling. She often asks herself, where is that joyful me? Where is my sincere smile? Will I be able to return to myself? Does that real me exist? I'm so hopeless and helpless. Can I live on my own? She had to develop unnatural qualities, go against her nature, against her consciousness in order to survive. As it is said, what you have become in order to survive is not always who you really are. The survivors had to forget and give up on themselves. I hate the phrase, and the victim has found her tyrant. Yes, a person who has been abused since childhood skips those red flags that would be noticed by someone who had a good childhood, since screaming and violence is normal for her. But let's not forget that Hitler, who is officially recognized as a psychopath, and other rulers who were psychopaths, were able to subjugate countries and continents. What then is one woman against a psychopath? People have been fighting against tyrants for centuries. The harm they bring terrifies generations of people who learn about them from the pages of history. I often ask myself the question of how millions of people fall under the influence of one psychopath and are ready to fight, capture, and die, so that he saturates his insatiable ego, which grows from power more and more, destroying everything in its path. This black hole inside every psychopath is insatiable, and the more gets into it, the more it grows, absorbing more and more. Interestingly, Murat Sultanov, a psychiatrist and psychotherapist, noticed in one of his videos that no other pathology is as dangerous for society as psychopathy. Psychopaths decide destinies and change history. Lindy Bancroft, an American clinical psychologist who has worked with abusers for years, in his book, Why Does He Do It?, noted that some abusers showed behavioral improvements, but when they started to speak in front of the others, that is to say, they began to smell meat, which is recognition and power, they rolled back in their behavior. That is important in relationship with psychopaths, not to feed their monster. This is probably a very tough but also right attitude toward them. I would compare them with such a slippery, all-pervading octopus that tries the territory itself and grows, pushes through, breaks through the boundaries of another person and expands. If you hit his tentacles, because he captured almost all of your territory, he will abruptly take them away and decrease. But at the same time, he will continue to look for an opportunity to push these tentacles further, step by step. Interestingly, one woman said that no matter what background psychopaths have, what kind of education they have, in what family they are raised, they are like Siamese twins. Their difference is probably only in the size of their inner monster, how much he managed to grow. Humanity pays for the actions of psychopath rulers for a very long time, dearly and painfully. And it is not surprisingly that for children as well as for a partner who was in such relationship, these consequences are painful and lasting. Humanity directed so much effort to correct the consequences of the actions of psychopathic rulers. Don't women and children need protection, support, and understanding? It seems that society wants the victims of violence not just huddle in a corner so as not to flicker, but even not to peep. How sad.